Because after we got in the movie, I saw, like, you know how there's, like, the custom popcorn buckets for a lot of movies now?
Yes.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
What do you mean?
You look at these popcorn buckets, right? Like, look at the Supergirl popcorn bucket. It looks like a circumcised dick. Hi, I'm Tom, and I've never seen the Titanic, but I have seen The Room at least 3 times.
And I'm Sean, and I think Forrest Gump is fine. There, I said it.
And this is Flicks and Flops, the podcast where we watch movies, talk nonsense,
And pretend to know what we're doing.
grab your snacks, lower your expectations, and let's ruin some cinema together.
Because nothing says film analysis like two friends arguing over whether Nicolas Cage is a genius or just bored.
And welcome back to Flicks and Flops. Sean and I just got out of the showing of Supergirl here at
Literally
Chunky's.
just like we are
It's like, what, almost 9 o'clock at night?
almost 9 o'clock at night, a little 7:15 felon on a weeknight, you know. Our parents are so mad at us. We're here past curfew, but
Gotta be
you know,
home.
yeah, I know. But like we had to give this one a spin, you know. Definitely check it out. I mean, obviously when you think about it, we started this podcast with Superman.
Yeah, it actually works out kind of perfectly because it was, what, roughly a year ago at
I
this
think
point
we're
now?
literally, yeah.
Like,
This
almost a
might
year
be,
to the
yeah,
day.
this might be our year anniversary one. I don't know if they came out exactly.
And I didn't
the
get you a
same time.
gift.
It's okay. The gift is you being here.
Oh, that's
The
cute.
gift are the friends we made along the way, right? No, but I mean, this was one we were looking forward to. I mean, we've been hyping up the summer of movies this entire time, and needless to say, a lot of the ones we thought might pop off have kind of been
Mostly
middling in the
mid.
box office. He-Man was set to be a flop, as far as I know. Toy Story is knocking this out of the water.
Which, little side tangent. So Shannon and I saw Toy Story
Yeah.
last weekend.
God, and that came out a week ago, and I think this debuted with like, it was some crazy low number. I was like, no way.
Yeah, I think that there wasn't really a ton of marketing for this movie, weirdly enough. It's only like, I think when it was first announced, there was a lot all over the place. And now they just kind of were like, well, it's out. No, people, word of mouth. And I'm like, you can't really do word of mouth in a movie in this day and age.
I really think I saw like Toy Story 70 mil, and this is probably US domestic, but like
Yeah.
Toy Story 70 mil, Supergirl 40 mil, which I give this actually opened with 40 mil. Holy shit. That's bad.
In fact, which I think that's kind of weird because I thought the movie was good.
I thought it was solid too. It's easily out of all the, I will say straight up, out of all the like gun universe. They call it
Yeah.
the DCME. I can't call it whatever the fuck they call it because
There's
this
too
one
many
is the animated one.
abbreviations.
But anyways, in Gunn's version of DC, I'd say this is the weakest one yet.
Yeah.
But like, that being said, it's so above the majority of the Snyderverse and even like some other ones. Like it just, we're at a point where, thank God, the baseline quality of these is at a point that's like acceptable. But you were saying right before we started recording, like, that there's kind of like a James Gunn fatigue effect happening, which
Yeah.
I really kind of felt that with the Guardian series, but I'm interested to hear like you elaborate like on what particularly in this ticked you off, and then I'll kind of dive into what for me, because like I'm interested to see if we have the same Gunnisms, so to speak, that bothered us during it.
I think a big thing that bothered me about this was watching this movie. When you look at it, he does a lot of the same stuff over and over and over and over again. So a big thing that he really likes to do is have these slow motion action scenes that have some like crazy song that doesn't really match the vibe. And then it's all these things where it's like, oh, this character's about to get hit, but somebody saves them just in time.
Just in time, literally.
Every single movie he does in Guardians of the Galaxy. He did it in Superman. He does it in this.
He did it in Creature Commandos.
And
Yeah.
it's like, that's his shtick, and I get it. He really likes that kind of stuff. But it's starting to wear on me. And a big thing about this movie, too, is like, the acting's good. Millie Alcox is really good in this.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, I had never really...
I haven't really seen her like anything
haven't
before
seen her
this.
much. She's like one of those people who I think kind of have like, I almost call it like the Chalamet effect, where they're in a lot of like kind of these like acclaimed like like indie movies, but they like don't have a big breakout until a certain point. I think with him, I mean, Chalamania, so to speak. I don't know if people call it that. I really hate that I said that on the fly. But I really think Dune is what sent him over the top, and then like a lot of the bigger movies started coming after. But like, and well, I say this too because Alex and I just watched Little Women earlier today.
How was that?
It was really good actually. She had to sell me on it because I wasn't into a big period piece. I wasn't like trying to watch a period piece where like they're speaking Old English, but like it takes place in like the 1860s. Like it's Greta Gerwig, so
Oh,
like
yep.
so like I mean it's her style of movie, and I like those movies. But anyways, um. No, I was impressed with her in this. I mean, like, I already thought she was, like, kind of funny from, like, the brief scene she was in, Superman, but she tackled a lot of the emotional depth of well, because this Supergirl one is based on,
Like Woman of Tomorrow?
yeah, Woman of Tomorrow, yeah. That's when I think the next Superman movie is
Yeah,
based
Man of
on
Tomorrow.
is based
Yep.
on Man of Tomorrow, which is so they're going with some of the more recent storylines, which makes sense. They're taking the approach that the last animated movie series prior to the fucking Crisis on Infinite World shit. The first DCAMU one, they basically tackled like the whole New 52 storyline from beginning to finish.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, like, I mean, I don't know where they're going with it. Regardless, like, there's a few ways to play Supergirl. All of them typically, but they all kind of boil down to like the fact that okay, Clark is learning humanity but never had to deal with the trauma of Krypton. She
Yeah.
has to learn humanity with the trauma of having like lived a whole life.
Watch everybody die.
Yeah, which I mean, they take a different approach to it. Like, I mean, I thought this one was interesting where she was already like teenage years because I know in the old school DCAU they did the same thing, but there's other ones where like she's a lot younger and grows up, etc.
Yeah.
Or she was frozen in time, whatever have you. It takes a lot to carry that kind of emotional burden that her character's supposed to have and actually play it off while still having like kind of the edgy douchey parts of her character, because her whole part is, I will say, it was a little bit ham-fisted at times. The whole like, you don't have to be nice, but you're good. Da, 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 da. Like it really pissed me off when the girl said that because the mother said that early in the movie. She said it verbatim.
Yeah.
And so I was like, and obviously the way that they did the flashbacks, it's not like we're hearing like Kara like tell the story to her. So like we don't
Just
know
thinking about it.
yeah, we don't know. Yeah. So like we don't know if she like heard those exact words. That kind of bothered me. But this is all in a very wordy way of saying I think it's pretty easy to fuck up playing a live action Supergirl. I've seen it screwed up many times.
Like the
And
CW.
and she actually nailed it here, I think.
I think one of the things I didn't really understand, like I haven't read that comic really at all. I know the basic idea of it, but I know it's supposed to be very colorful and very vibrant and like very out there for a comic. Like it has all these spectacular drawings that are like, it's very stylized.
Yeah.
This movie really wasn't stylized. It felt like it was going backwards for superhero stuff in the sense of, okay, it's just big fight on gray planet and big smoke everywhere. You can't really tell what's going on because we're trying to use the budget for CGI, so here you go. Like, it felt like it wasn't as colorful as it should have been. The early part of the movie starts that way, and then it's just like, they completely abandon it and everything's just dark gray, dark tones instead of that like vibrant over the top. So I feel like they kind of missed the mark a little bit with that.
I agree. I mean, if you want to take like a really charitable viewpoint of it, you could be like, well, they're very into darker territory. Kara is, well, fucking A, like this is the perfect segue for this because you could argue if you're being like I said, charitable, you could be like, okay, the darker the tone show, the darker of territory we're getting, like the closer we are to like stepping over that bridge of, Supergirl breaks the no kill rule is where I'm getting at with this, which is a very interesting take. I was kind of like, whoa, what the fuck? I didn't really get your take on that. What was your reaction to that? Because that's a bold move.
I wasn't sure if she had, like, I'm not super familiar with Supergirl, so I wasn't sure if she had a no-kill rule, but I kind of like the idea that she's like, I'm a good person, but I'm willing to cross boundaries when needed. It's like, that's the biggest complaint a lot of people have about superheroes in general is like, oh, like Batman. Oh, you're just gonna arrest Joker again, and oh, he goes back into Arkham, and then he breaks out. Oh,
But oh, and yeah,
he
and instead
kills
of
like half
killing,
of Gotham, and
I
then
know,
you
and
put him back in.
well, no, instead of killing a guy, you like break their spine or like do
Yeah,
everything.
and
It's
put
like,
them in medical debt forever. And it's
yeah,
like, and then it's also the same idea where Batman's like, oh, what if you killer, the same number of killers exist in the world? It's like, is it though?
yeah.
Is it though? I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't know, like, out of mainstream superhero movies, I mean, I'm thinking from DC how many times, like, they've straight up, like, kill, like, to the degree of this. I mean, a lot of times it's, like, mythical creatures and shit, so I don't really
Yeah,
count
it's
it.
a little like
And
BS.
granted, like, this guy's an alien too, but, like, he's human enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that weird ass fucking, like, he has to, like, press a button for him to,
Yeah,
like,
it was
talk.
like, who's the guy in South Park that puts the thing to his throat and every time he talks?
Oh my god, I can't remember, but I mean, dude, it's like those commercials where like you should stop smoking, like the fucking
Yeah.
stop the emphyseme ones. Yeah,
And
no.
it felt like, well, I mean, to give a whole basis of the movie, it's you're seeing Kara on her, what, 21st or something like that, 23rd?
23rd, yeah,
Yeah, so
her
she's
23rd.
celebrating her 23rd birthday. She's on a planet with a red sun so she can get all sorts of fucked up. She's drinking. It's all a good time. And then she comes into contact with this girl who comes about because she's like, oh, this brigand killed my father and I want revenge. And
Yeah,
it's a very simple storyline of just revenge. And I think it's a little bit of a cop-out. I don't know if the comic did this, but it's the second, like, super family kind of movie where Crypto is the reason that Superman or Supergirl gets involved. In Superman, he wasn't really going to get involved, and then he's like, oh, they kidnapped Crypto. I gotta go. Now I'm involved in this.
yeah,
In this, it's like they're taking Kara's ship, and Crypto tries to attack them. They poison Crypto, and it's like, well, Crypto's poisoned, so now I have to get involved. And it's like,
oh, I didn't think about that.
I'm like, I get it, because everyone can root behind, like, save your dog. That's a very simple thing that, like, 99% of people can get behind. But the problem I have with this, that's kind of cheap at this point. Of like, you already did this in the last movie, and you're already falling into that plot line of like, oh, the dog brought them in again, when you know that it's going to turn out when the dog's going to be fine.
Yeah,
But you know they won't kill off the dog.
no,
So there is not really that sense. They try and build that sense with you with like, you have 3 moon cycles to
Oh, you
save
mean
the
like the
dog.
tension of like the dog? Yeah, you never. Yeah, I mean, not for a minute do I think she's dying of fucking kryptonite poisoning.
Yeah.
I know Crypto's not dying. I mean, I will say like, for me, I almost forgot that Crypto was kidnapped in it because he did accomplish like he was actually able to use his powers in this one.
Yeah.
I did have a feeling going into this that they were gonna like find a way to nerf it because I mean, like it's already I mean, you have. If you want to actually set the stakes right, like you got to have Supergirl just doing her own thing. You can't have
Yeah.
Supergirl with Crypto fight it, like But no, when you put it that way, dude, that fucking bugs me actually.
And even the villain in this seemed kind of underwhelming, because it's not like everyone kept talking about in the movie like he has the strength of 1,000 men, and then you never see him like do anything. At one point, you see him just kind of hold like a tank, and that's it. The rest of the movie is just him not really doing anything and not really being that imposing.
Yeah, I mean
He was just creepy.
he's able to take hits from her. I mean,
Yeah.
eventually she does hit him with like the super wombo, and then like I don't know, she probably like broke his spine or some shit. He can't get up. Who the fuck knows? I mean, like it's not that I doubted his. Yeah, I never doubted his strength, but like. I agree with you. Like, what the fuck, man? Why are you just standing around half the time?
Yeah, it's like every time he came out, he's just like, well, and you like hum along, and then he'd be like, I'm a little weirdo, and
No,
then he'd
dude,
just leave.
I mean, he was creepy as shit. The guy played it great. I have no complaints with that. I think also they took the approach, and I mean, it's fine that I don't need to know everything about like the brigands and what the fuck they're doing and everything. But like
Yeah.
at the same time, you're giving me this vague thing about how I mean, basically, going back to the summary, the brigands' whole thing is that to keep their all-male race of fucking like genocidal motherfuckers, they have a bunch of children brides to fucking
Just
trade
creepy.
crates, which is fucked up. Yeah, there's literally like a cage of kids, dude. Like fucking, they're backrolled by Epstein.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of that joke the entire movie, that I was like, damn, these guys would be on Epstein's island, wouldn't they?
Spoiler alert, Tom. They are MC's Island.
Spoiler, it's happening.
Yeah. But like, beyond that they like to kill, and they don't really. I guess it's kind of the point that they have no code and that they fucking just kill people for sport. I mean, like, for example, the scene where he is on the rooftops and finds the girl of the parents he tried to turn Kara and them in,
Yeah.
and then he like kills all 3 of them in like literally like one swoop.
Then he's like, ooh.
I never doubted his power for a second, but I'm also like that's one of the things I have with this, and I think the main complaints I'm seeing is that they do a really good job at tackling kind of. I think the thing with that comic and this whole storyline is that it's not meant to be some crazy action piece, and it's actually meant to be like a exploration of her character and stuff. I really wouldn't be surprised. No, he writes. Does Tom King do any DC shit too?
I don't know, actually.
Because it really gives. No, he does. I know for a fact he does, because the Mr. Miracle series is going.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really curious if Tom King or someone who like writes with him wrote this, because Tom King's styles of like DC one-ups is like the action's there to an extent, but it's more like a deeper character study.
Yeah.
And so like, I mean, as far as exploring her trauma and shit, phenomenal. I thought David Krumholtz was great as Zor-El. He's one of my fucking favorite character actors. He was great. The mom had like a good monologue too. I thought that was a really interesting take. I've never heard that approach to how they save their city, because I know the approach where sometimes that they're in the city that
like the capital or whatever.
No, the city that Brainiac shrunk into the bottle.
Yep,
Sometimes she's from there. Like,
yeah.
I thought the whole thing of them separating from the planet, and then the kryptonite being unearthed.
It was cool.
How many fucking dude? I swear to God, there's gonna be some comic that's like, the planet Krypton has 7,000 layers of lead in its core, and that's why the kryptonite never poisons. It's gotta be some stupid bullshit like that, because that is one thing that is kind of some of the times I think they are going with the idea that kryptonite is a limited thing, but also like, dude, how famous were the fucking Kryptonians? The fucking like, what's his name? I mean, well, first of all, if we assume, okay, so. Let's assume, so Kal-El, dude, it's been like 30 fucking years. How do you know all this shit about Kryptonians? Like, did some historian be like, I'm going to document all their weaknesses? Well, I mean, like,
when there's like 2 of them left.
Yeah,
just in case.
Well, we are supposed to believe that, like, I mean, kind of. It's funny because when I'm thinking of what I'm about to say, I'm like, damn, Invincible really ripped this shit off. But like, when you think about it, right, like the Kryptonians are viewed as like the fucking like most superior race in that fucking in the DC universe. Like, as a race, not like, I mean, the only people that really compare are like the fucking New Gods and like, all of that. But and like at the same time, I'm supposed to believe like, okay, cool that the Kryptonian stuff was in the planet's core. But like this motherfucker, like in like maybe 2 days, 3 days, the villain, whatever the fuck, Crumb, somehow has Kryptonian bullets.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Where do you get those from, dude? Your ass.
And then he also perfectly planned near like the 3rd act of the movie, where they're hiding their ship, is in a place that has a yellow and green sun.
I mean, the guy is like, they're not dumb. They're fucking vicious, but they're not dumb. But at the same time, like, I do like the idea of the different solar cycles, and like,
I mean, that was cool.
And we know that like different colors, sun / different color kryptonite does shit to them.
Yeah.
And I thought that, yeah.
The fact that he had it like a day or two, where he's like, I have all my.
Where do you get it, bro?
Belt. Yeah.
What do they got? Like, do they got flying chunks of it in the fucking like air and shit? It's just like,
how does everyone have such easy access to kryptonite? I don't understand.
The only non-dumb one that made sense to me was that because the entire planet's core was made up of it, that there are like asteroids. They can mine it. I like that one. The one where like fucking, there's like one where somehow a lot of it I forget what storyline, but like when Clark lands on Earth, like a bunch of kryptonite was like fucking lodged in the and it lodges itself in the air.
Works.
And suddenly like Lex has like a whole fucking thing of it. Like,
what he's like, yes, generational hatred commence.
Gods. I mean, but yeah, like, I mean, it's hard for me to. A lot happens in this movie, but also a lot doesn't. That's why I'm like having a heart. Like, I mean, it on a core level, it's really a girl, Kara, who has a fuck ton of trauma from like literally losing her family. Yeah, she's just a girl. with another girl who also lost her family, but they lost them in 2 completely different ways. One of them was brutally murdered in front of them. The other, they died from fucking space rock poisoning. But they both are dealing with, like, immense grief, immense guilt. Like, I mean, you know, different experience, but, like, kind of same sort of thing. But I'm just wondering, like, you know, with that kill of Crumb, like, where are they gonna, I mean, and that's what makes her kind of decide to get her shit together and get it and, you know, be back on Earth. But, like,
Yeah. And it forces her to really reevaluate her life choices, which I like. You know, it makes sense. So she's not just the static character. It's like, whatever, party girl. Like, it's good to see the transformation of the character throughout the movie, and the character arc and progression makes sense. What did you think of Jason Momoa as Lobo?
underwhelming.
Okay,
Underwhelming.
I was gonna say
Not
the
bad.
same.
Not bad, but underwhelming.
They had been selling this. They're like, wow, he's born to play Lobo, and it was just kind of like cheesy. It was like he very much was over the top. Some parts were cool, but some I was like, okay, he's really cheesing it up right now, and it's like, it's kind of taking me out of the movie.
Yeah.
And also, the CGI in the movie's not great.
No, some of it's iffy. The way he looked was kind of weird to me at first.
Yeah, he looks off, and especially, I know it's a practical effect with the fake cigar, but you can really notice at certain points when he's like, you know, smoking the cigar, that it's one of those fake, like, movie prop cigars where the light will turn on, off, on, off. And it's, like, really, really noticeable.
Huh.
And
Also, when I spin this bag eventually, I'll have.
like, that took me out of it because I was like, it's just lighting up in an unnatural way.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, that took me out. There are a lot of moments where Kara's flying that look pretty bad. Like,
I thought some of, like, the close action stuff was good, but, like, the actual aerial flying stuff was kind of iffy for me.
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it's some budget issue that they were just like, whatever, kind of mask it. Because I noticed they had a lot of the action scenes were okay, but they had a lot of weird cuts and transitions in them.
Yeah, I mean, you do know what's going on. Like, there are some where you have no idea what. Like,
Yeah, there was some I was like, we're sitting in the dark in the theater. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
you at least you have a sense of what's happening. But I agree, some of it's like a little still. I mean, and maybe that's just the nature of the beast. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just because I mean, Superman, right? That's the other thing too. They really had to knock it out of the park with Superman.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, it's obviously they have to keep the momentum going with this, but, like, I mean, obviously they have some bigger things in the works. I mean, who the fuck knows when this goddamn Batman movie will come out? But
Don't worry, we got Clayface.
no, that's gonna be fun. No, fuck you, man. That's
No,
actually
that's
that's actually gonna be good.
I completely unrelated, but
Though I do find it hard to believe that the Clayface in this movie is the Clayface in
the Creature Commandos.
yes.
I don't think it is.
No, it is. He confirmed it as, dude. The whole thing with Creature Commandos, dude, is that it.
Oh, it all ties in.
Yes, is that, like, which it makes sense because there is going to be some shit that they're only going to be able to do and animate, like,
Yeah.
I mean, and actually make it, sell it. I mean, you could try it and fucking, or.
I don't think Clayface is gonna do well though in theaters. I think it's not enough of an attraction to get people to go see as a movie. If you try to market Clayface like as a horror movie, sure, and like it's gonna work in that sense, but I just don't think it's gonna make as much money as they're expecting. But completely unrelated to all that, one thing I've noticed a lot, and I think I mentioned this to you, because after we got in the movie, I saw, like, you know how there's like the custom popcorn buckets for a lot of movies now.
Yes.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
What do you mean?
You look at these popcorn buckets, right? Like, look at the Supergirl popcorn bucket. It looks like a circumcised dick. Look at the Dune popcorn bucket, and tell me what is that to you? Like, there's no way. I think that a lot of these like studio execs are kind of in on this thing, and there's no way that these designs passed by all these people, and they're like, I see absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think they know to get people talking, but I'm telling you, go be images up on the screen of the popcorn buckets, and there's no way you can tell me it wasn't done on purpose.
This is a really good hill to die on, Tom. I like this.
I've been thinking about this a lot.
You're really.
I've been thinking about it a lot because I saw the popcorn bucket online. And I went, what? Yeah. I was like, from behind. That's a very interesting design choice. Maybe uncircumcised. Oh, regardless,
Good lord.
I just had to say it because it's been on my mind for literally days.
I'm concerned that was on your mind for days.
Well, because the front of it just looks like Supergirl, and then she's wearing a trench coat, so on the back is like the trench coat, and it's in the picture will be up on the screen. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay.
And now getting back to the central point of the movie, I feel like I don't know, it's a good movie, but there are a lot more flaws than I was expecting with it. That I feel like it's something that if someone was like, oh, I need, a good movie to go see in theaters, like I would still recommend this in
Yeah,
theaters.
for
It's
sure,
still
in a
it's a
heartbeat,
fun
yeah.
romp. It's
No,
a fun
for-
romp, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not like a movie that I was expecting. Like I went in with zero expectations and I kind of left and I was like, it's okay. It's not like amazing. I wouldn't be like run out to theaters, but if you need something to do, I'd recommend this.
Yeah.
But it definitely has its flaws of like rough CGI, a decent amount of response in the movie. The soundtrack is great though. James Gunn always comes ready with a good soundtrack. I know he didn't direct this.
Yeah.
He still was involved in it, but the soundtrack, I heard Eagles of Death Metal in there, which like nobody ever plays that, so I was super stoked to hear that.
No, they had like some
It was like early 2000s alt rock. It was great.
no, they like really went out of the box with some of these, to be honest. Like, I mean, he always does, right?
Yeah,
But
he always has a good music selection in his movies, so I'll never fault him for that. But like, I don't know. It seemed like the movie also kind of had issues with pacing.
absolutely. There were some times where it was like, okay, we're going here, and then other times it was like, holy shit.
Yeah, like
man.
they've been on the same scene for 10 minutes. Like
Yeah.
when she's sitting there because the green sun is up and she's dying, and it's like, it's like 10 minutes of Millie Allencock's just groaning.
Just like having kryptonite cancer, like
Yeah, like, okay, like, she's like, now I need to explain my backstory. I'm like, Jesus Christ, at this point in the movie? We're near the end of the movie. What do you mean you're just getting into this now? Well, yeah, I don't know. To me, it felt like it's almost like the backstory, while it was good, wasn't needed.
agreed.
You could have cut that out because everyone just kind of assumes.
Like, I don't know if I fully agree with that. I think maybe they could have like paced it and they maybe
Tightened it up.
yeah. Or well, I was fully expecting them to do that at the beginning. It's fine
Yeah.
they didn't do it right at the beginning. I was expecting it to come on, like, I knew there was going to be a flashback of some sort. I was expecting it within the first half hour, 45. They place it at about the hour mark, and while it's good that they flash through a few different points in time, like, her living in Earth, like,
Yeah.
briefly, meeting Cal, like, all that stuff, right? Yeah, just a lot of it could have been tightened up. And like when you think about it, like it kind of has the same problem that it reminds me a lot of the problems we had with Mandalorian and Grogu, where like
Yeah.
like technically a lot happens, but like
But also nothing
but
happens
also
at the
not
same
yeah, but
time.
also not really. And I hate to like sound like a broken record, but like I kind of don't know where this really moved the needle as far as like
Yeah.
new DC shit happening. Because, but I mean, the thing is like, they made a conscious decision to adapt, like, essentially a one-off, right? This was like a contained storyline. It wasn't like a whole, plot line. So obviously it's getting us used to her. I mean, I thought it was great that they had the lead in from Superman, like, of her already, like, being on the bender and whatnot,
Yeah.
dealing with that. Stuff, but I'm kind of just like, where the fuck do we go from here?
Yeah, I don't really know what the direction is with this.
Well, I will say the one thing that is clear is at this juncture, they're not building towards like they want to break the mold of like we need to build up to Infinity War. We need to build
Yeah.
up to Doomsday. We need to build up to like I think they're
Yeah.
done. I don't think that's how Gunn wants to play it, and I think it's smart to not play it like that because fuck that. We've done that song and dance, and Marvel kind of
Marvel's
got-
doing it for a second time.
yeah, Marvel like managed to land the plane the first turn, but like that plane is like fucking
It's falling apart.
It's been going through turbulence. It went to the Bermuda Triangle. It came back. Then
the
it went,
toilets don't work.
yeah, then it went back to the Bermuda Triangle. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So,
we
like,
had popcorn buckets.
so I mean, it's fine that we don't have to like think about. I mean, and if he wants to play it that way, that's fine because like, I mean, it's fucking comic books, man.
Yeah.
You can decide on whenever you want to go to the bigger storyline. But if you do a bunch of like, if you build up the universe and like just do a bunch of kind of self-contained, but also like kind of connecting enough stories, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like to me though, from my understanding, that Man of Tomorrow will be kind of the movie that moves it towards like a specific direction.
Kind of connected with like Peacemaker, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, yes, it is
Yeah.
connected with Peacemaker because
Like
the only
dimensions.
well, the only stuff we really know in particular is that Superman's gonna break Lex out of prison or something
Yeah.
like that. Like that's been kind of suggested. Which I mean, if they are doing Man of Tomorrow, then maybe it'll be the scene where they break well, no, that's an All-Star Superman where like then Parasite gets broken out of prison.
Parasite would be interesting.
Yeah.
I want like if we're really gonna do more of these movies, I want lesser known villains, because I think those are more entertaining than the same villains we've seen 5,000 times.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, cool, we get to see another like. I'm not super familiar with like Superman and Supergirl's like their roster,
Yeah.
but it's like how many times can we see like Zod? How many like we never really see Brainiac? I'd like to see something like that. He's like lesser known, but like someone like that. I want to see Calendar Man. Why isn't Calendar Man in any of these movies? I'm just saying.
I'm with you. Wasn't Calendar Man in Robert Pattinson Batman? I think he was.
Oh. Yes?
Maybe.
Question mark? Maybe.
I don't know. I might be getting
Speaking of Robert Pattinson, I just watched The Lighthouse too.
yeah.
The fuck is that movie?
I don't know, man. Birds. That's all I gotta say.
Darren Needy Winslow.
Birds. That movie's a spiritual sequel to The Birds.
Well, and Robert Pattinson's gonna be in the new Dune too.
He's in everything, dude.
Yeah, it's like
He's Batman, but not this Batman.
I really like him as an actor, and I don't want to get fatigue of him because he's so talented.
I really.
And it's like I don't want them to do what they've done with Pedro Pascal, which is shove him in everything, and then it's like I hate this guy now.
Yeah, no.
But I like what they did in this movie. Where it's like mostly a lot of people I'm not super familiar with, and then you.
That's
think,
the approach he's going for. I
Yeah.
think that's what I like about his casting. He has a few like bigger names and then like kind of mid names and then like
enough to draw you into
and
the
then
movie.
a lot of just like kind of either unknown or like character actor type people, and it's good. I mean, the whole time I will say like I know I compared it to Mando, but like with Mando, when you see certain people, it throws you out of it. This
Yeah.
I'm not like thrown off by any of the actors per se.
No, because none of them were like big enough that I was like, oh, who is that?
Yeah.
Oh, like again?
I
Really?
mean, even Lobo, right? Like even though it's just from Lobo, but like at the same time, like
That still didn't take me out of it. I still wasn't sold by his acting, but that's just because I think Jason Momoa's not a good actor.
agreed.
I think he's overhyped, and I think that this was one thing they really tried to sell it on, which is an unfortunate part because
And
he didn't
they-
really stick. This
No,
long.
and also he like kind of the way he wasn't in it as much as I kind of was expecting.
Yeah, they have him in like a lot of the trailers, it seems, and they're like, "Whoa, it's Lobo. Lobo's gonna be so cool," and then he's in this movie for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 20,
But
but
he's
yeah.
not really a big part of the story anyway, right? So like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. And then they kind of leave this weird hint that it's like maybe he'll be in more, but I'm like, he seems like his own kind of person.
Yeah.
So just like let him do whatever.
I would be really no. I think he'll be. I think Corin Sweat and him will play off each other really well. It's like for example, there was a DC movie, animated movie where they had a lot of interaction between Lex, Superman, and Lobo all together, and it was like really fun. So I don't know. There's
I can see it.
like if I had to sum it up, there's a lot of potential,
Yeah.
and you see the potential in this movie. The problem is like it doesn't. For me, it didn't land the plane, to use that analogy, quite like Superman did the movie. Like Superman, I think, hit and went above expectations. This, I think, I don't think it drastically like It's a good movie, but like, did it reinvent the wheel? Did it make me like think that, oh my God, the whole genre is saved? No. Like Superman kind of did, no. And that's fine. Not every movie's gonna do that. It's just, I think when you set the bar that high, like with Superman, that now unfortunately, based on this not quite hitting the mark, now I gotta worry, Not worry, but like, you know what I mean?
No,
Like
you're gonna be like, well,
now I'm gonna
what are we doing?
go into the rest of them kind of with like, I guess a chip on my shoulder, being like, okay, maybe
Yeah.
it's not, we'll see. So that's where I'm at, I think.
And then I'll say, all right, well, hold on before you go and spend money on these. Let me see what we're about here.
Yeah,
Thing.
correct.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
So we'll see. What are your final thoughts?
Overall, solid movie, but not spectacular. So it's kind of in the middle point of being like, I'd recommend it to people and be like, oh, if you're looking for a good time, but don't go in expecting it to be like this amazing thing that you're going to be telling everyone to go out and see. It's set your expectations of it's okay, but that doesn't mean that it's a waste of your time.
Yeah.
It's like some movies are just good enough. This isn't reinventing the wheel. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's an okay movie, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't think that you're going into this and it's like, whoa, it's gonna be this cool thing, especially if you're a fan of the comic. You're imagining all this colorful shit and all these like trippy visuals.
Kidding, that goes out the window about halfway through. Yeah,
and we'll have it up on the screen too of like all the crazy visuals that the comic is supposed to have. And this movie has like none of that. It does have cool aliens though, which always a bonus.
The aliens were cool.
I love seeing weird aliens in like sci-fi and comic books.
She literally came out of like an alien's like embryo ass. At
we need more of that because that stuff is so cool to see, and everyone just being like, "What? It's normal." I'm like, cool shit like that and better visuals. I think if this movie was, how long was it? 2 hours? A little over 2 hours, probably.
Yeah, just shy, I think.
It could have actually been even shorter, and I know we say that all the time. But
no, this really could have been shorter.
You could have tightened up, taken away half of the backstory, like backstory flashback. Probably half of that could have gone.
This could have been 90 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and then I think it would have been a tighter movie. I think it loses focus.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. And then you're like, there are a lot of moments where I was like, what are we doing in this movie?
No, I'd say the last 20 minutes, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like it feels like unnecessary. So, boom. In your thoughts?
No, I mean, I agree. Like, it was good. Like, good, not great. I'm cautiously optimistic for the rest of it. I mean, it wasn't bad, and that was everyone's fear. And anyone who's saying it's bad, I think, anyone's entitled to their opinion. I mean, we're a bunch of fucks talking about movies here at Chunky's on Hughes Road in Manchester. New Hampshire, had to throw that in there. But, I don't know. There's so many bad superhero movies that I don't know how I don't know how you would say this is bad.
Anyone who says it's bad is just trying to hate. They're one of those people that have too much time on their hands and like, well, actually, Supergirl isn't good because of it's like,
okay. So think about that before you comment on this YouTube video.
True, because then we'll flame you in the comments afterwards too. Anyway, it's fine. Well, I think that'll do it for this one because it's like what 10 o'clock.
Yeah, no, we're a bunch of old dudes, and don't ever tell us we're not dedicated. That we're doing this on a school night, on a work night, chopping it up. But yeah, no, I mean, if you want a good one, the fun one in the theaters, definitely go give this a spin. And I'll be interested to see where the rest of the summer takes us movie wise. But I think that'll do it for us. So from myself, Tom, and Chunkies, catch you guys next time.
Peace.